Satan declared war on marriages and family. It was only the sensitive in God that could discern how the attack was coming and where it was coming from and what the purpose of for the attack. But families are under siege as I speak right now. But what I want you to understand is this: God never allows a siege without an escape. It is up to you to have a conviction. If you come to these series without a conviction that my family can be better, if you don't come with that conviction, you won't be better, because God will never force better on you. More than 85% of the families that are in the United States, the domestic United States of America, are dysfunctional. I'm going to say that again. More than 85% of the families in America, the United States, domestic United States, are dysfunctional. What does that mean? That simply means that there is no order in the home. If there is a male in the home, the male is really a woman. And you can't have two women leading in the home. I'm getting ready. Y'all ain't gonna like this series. I can tell, right? I see what's going on, baby. The other problem is that when we have single mothers, which in some instances we have by default, no fault of your own that you are single mothers, there aren't enough surrogate fathers available because there's an effeminate spirit in the land. Right. Y'all ain't gonna like this. To take up the brunt and the responsibility to assist in the raising of children so that we do not create another dysfunctional generation. It was just the other day, Elder Bonner, that I sat down with my kids, and y'all know my kids. They're just very active. And we sat down for dinner. So my kids got up, and Drew got up, and she said, "I'm done." And I said, whoa. Well, what are you doing? You did not ask permission to get up from my table. And she looked at me, "I'm sorry, Dad, may I get up from the table?" Now, most of you may look and say, "Oh my God, I haven't heard that in years." But what has happened is our children have eaten with other children at school, and they've picked up habits of the dysfunctionality that goes on out of my supervision, and they bring that home. And they're quick to tell me, "Dad, Emily," y'all ain't saying nothing. And I'm quick to respond, "We're not Emily. Are you listening to me? As far as my house is concerned, you're going to ask to be dismissed from the table." Oh, y'all looking at me like I'm crazy. Now, some of you may say you're being a tyrant. It's not being a tyrant as much as it is employing order, because when God created the earth, he created it systematically and methodically. And when people have no rules, there is disorder and mayhem. Are you listening to me? And part of the problem that we're going through right now in the family is that we do not understand what the image of God is. The world tells you that the image of God is freedom. Do whatever you want. Freedom is not to be interpreted as you do whatever you want to do. The image of God is that there's order, there's method, there's systematic. Y'all ain't saying nothing. I know you don't like this, but look at what God did. He created the man, then he brought the woman out of the man. I don't care how you flip it, a man cannot be pregnant. Oh God. A woman cannot be the husband. A man, y'all ain't gonna want to talk back to me. I don't care how you want to turn it. As long as we keep assimilating with the world's system to be free, that spirit of freedom and androgyny will continue to kill our family and children.
That's right. good.
Had somebody tell me the other day they was going to a wedding, 2 women, and they felt obligated to go because they were friends of the person. I said, I'm not doing anything I don't want to do. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. In other words, I love you, baby, but if you leave Jesus, you and I got to talk. Because when you get to a point that your ethics and your morals and your principles are being compromised, you've got to draw a line in the sand. In other words, I love your gay self, but if you decide to change the order of God and I'm not supporting it. I'm not coming to watch you kiss another woman. Oh God. I don't even like looking at heterosexuals kiss. Why do I want to see? Oh God. Y'all sit down. Stop telling me to preach. No, they're lambasting. I heard they're lambasting Pastor Kim Burrell all over the internet. I ain't got nothing to say about that. I don't know what happened. I would never lambast anybody. I love everybody. But I'm calling your sin out. And if I do it, it's wrong. The Bible says, my filth will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. And I don't care what the world is trying to make you accept in your family. It is unacceptable. Somebody say the image of God. Somebody say with me, the image of God is the order of God. The image of God is nothing more than a reflection of God. How can I reflect God? How in the world can I reflect God? And I'm espousing my own wise fables and truths. There is no way that I can reflect the image of God if I'm giving my natural opinion to the way I think things ought to be. God has an order. He says in the word, the man is the head of the family. Christ is head of man. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing. You don't want to hear this. I'm just starting basic today. We got a long way to go, so it's gonna be tight up in this camp. Tell somebody that's sitting on your row, we got to get the family right if we want to be blessed. Some of y'all want houses and land. You want all this stuff and you don't even tithe. How in the world can you ask God for anything and your family jacked up? You need to ask God, God, get my children together. They act like baby kids. Lord, help me learn how to treat. Oh, God. Ask God, you know what my prayer was? Lord, help me love my wife to the extent that you love me. That's my prayer. I'm letting y'all in on a secret. Help me love my wife like you love me and like you love her. Because you just gave me her on borrow. Y'all ain't saying nothing back to me. That is what's going to get the family back in order.
That's good.
We are out of order. And we've got to get first things right back in place again. Women, I don't care how much you know. Singles, I'm coming down your street. Women, I don't care how much you know. He's still the leader. You may be smart as Bill Gates. I'm talking about you can calculate numbers in your head. I don't care how much you may have an inborn calculator. And he can't spell his name if he's still the leader. You married his dumb self. Y'all ain't saying nothing back to me. If he's smart, he'll use your brains. If he's smart. If you got sense, you would not be influenced by a Jezebel spirit. Just because you know doesn't mean you're in charge. That's what's killing the family. Women's live. Women's live. Women's live. Listen, we got a place too. Ain't nobody fighting you. Only the devil fighting you. And women, for For you whose husbands won't stand up, make him stand up and take his rightful place. When a decision got to be made, it won't be made unless you make it, because God made me to stand by you, not in front of you. Oh God. They don't like this. They're going to talk about me. They're going to talk about me. They're going to talk. I don't care how anointed you are. You may be able to preach your husband under the ground. You ain't in charge at home. Lord, I can't get no better. What is being in his image? Somebody say order. What's happened in America is now the man is the woman.
Right.
Because America has allowed you to mute your man's voice.
That's right.
The man doesn't have a voice anymore. And then you use your genitalia as a weapon.
Yeah.
He doesn't do what I want him to do, I'm going to hold it off.
Right, right. Talk, Pastor. Talk.
Click, click, clamp, clamp. Now what you going to do?
Talk.
That's a Jezebel spirit. That's a spirit of control, manipulation.
Good teaching.
I'm going to stop in a minute. Because First Lady got to talk. Look at somebody and say, image is order. The image of God. You want to reflect the image of God. I don't care how spiritual you are. You will never be so spiritual that you're not natural.
Right.
I may be able to preach heaven down, but I've got to treat my wife right. And sometimes she'll check me and she'll say, I don't like the way you're talking. I'm sorry, baby.
Right, right.
And it's not that I'm being strong, I'm being passionate.
That's it.
But God will not honor me if she's offended. Y'all ain't saying nothing. I can't preach to you if she's offended. So I've got to get it right first. The world will tell you that you ain't got to get it right.
I hear you.
Because they want to destroy the family. Somebody shout at me, the image of God. The first thing that I need to know, that you need to know when you're living in the image of God, the first note that I want you to put down is you got to understand that you are not a mistake. Say with me, I'm not a mistake. When you understand that you are created in the image of God, you are not a mistake. So whoever you are sown into, God puts you next to them so that you could create an inheritance. So why would you kill your inheritance?
Right.
First Lady is the incubator of my seed. So why would I hurt the incubator of my seed? She said something to me the other day. Only women can incubate when men plant. Oh, God. Men plant the vision, women bring the vision forward.
Right, right.
Because oh God, without the woman, she's the navigator, but I'm the visionary.
Right, right.
Without her, the vision cannot come. But the world wants you to believe that the vision can come from both. The vision comes from him, and she brings the vision forward. Because she is the what? Incubator. I don't care how much the world tells you that men can be the incubators and men can become pregnant. My wife said something to me the other day that's destroying the fabric of the family. And I never thought about this. I had somebody to come to me say that they were having some strange feelings. So what kind of strange feelings you have? I said, I'm having some feelings for the same kind of people.
My God.
And I said, okay, that's cool, because I talked to a whole bunch of people in the street. You know, my wife said, God gave my wife a revelation. She said, what if our parents had done that? Then we would never be. It is the devil's attempt to get you to choose an alternative so that the purpose that God put in your parents could never come forth.
Never come forth.
That's revelation. Being made in the image of God is understanding that you are not a mistake. Say with me, I am not a mistake.
Not a mistake.
I understand that when God created me, the 9 billion sperm cells that traveled up the canal to germinate the ovary, I'm the only one that lived. 8 billion million sperm cells died, but I lived. So that meant that I had purpose. God told Abraham, leave your country and go to a place where I'll show you. And just, where you going, Abraham? I don't know where I'm going, but I know that I'm following God. You don't know where God is leading you. But he's leading you to your inheritance, and your inheritance is a family. Before Israel was a church, they were a family. God was leading Abraham to create a family, just like God led me to my wife, and I didn't know that she was the incubator of my family until she said it, and I was more spiritual than her. But God gave it to her before he gave it to me. Talk, babe.
How God gave it to me before he gave it to you. Well, I told 8 a.m. I said, what's interesting about the Lord is that when I met my husband, we were both working at a radio station. I was still in college and he had just graduated. And the interesting thing is that the very night I met him, we spent just a short time together, but I went home that evening and I called my best friend and I said, I met my husband today. And what's so interesting in such a God moment for me is that I didn't know God as I know him now. I had never, I think, said anything that God had said before. And I wasn't looking for a husband. I wasn't one of those women who was dying to get married. I had just come out of a very bad relationship. And time passed, and as I began to reflect back on it, I said it had to be God. And what's so amazing about God is that he can speak to us, even those of us who don't want to hear his voice. He spoke to me. I didn't know him as I know him now. I wasn't Holy Ghost filled. I wasn't fire baptized. I didn't speak in tongues. I didn't go to church every Sunday. But I know now as I look back that it was nothing but God who spoke to me. And just a quick something that God dropped in my spirit about just us being a mistake. What's interesting about mistakes, and I'll share this with you, and it's just a real life example, is that me and my husband were out. The grandparents had the kids for a few days, and we went to the mall. And as we often do, he'll ask me what I want to eat. And I know he really don't want to know what I want to eat. He wants me to just say wherever he wants to go eat. And so I knew he wanted sweet greens, but I didn't want sweet greens. I really wanted Maggiano's. And so I decided to speak up this day, and I said, you know, if you want sweet greens, you go get sweet greens. I think I'm going to get some Maggiano's. I'll take it to go. He's like, no, we can do Maggiano's. Well, the interesting thing is that through all this, we get to Maggiano's. We're sitting down. We eat. He orders a salad. He doesn't eat it. And at the end of our dinner, our waiter comes to us who has a very strong, I think maybe an Italian accent. And he was asking us about the salad as he removed it, and I thought he was asking, did we want it packed to go? And I was like, no, just we good. You can eat it if you want, but we good. And he misunderstood me, and so as he walked away from the table, I realized, oh my God, he just misunderstood me, because as he walked away from the table, he thought I said it was a bad salad. And he said, I'm going to get the sous chef. And as he walked away, I couldn't even catch him fast enough. I looked at my husband and I said, oh my God, he thinks I said something was wrong with the salad. I was just saying we didn't want it packed. Well, to make a long story short, just about mistakes, the sous chef walks out from the kitchen to our table, and we know him. He's our neighbor. And he's standing in front of our table, and now I'm really embarrassed, because I'm like, I'm not one of those people that sends food back. I'm not trying to get a free meal. And so I just started explaining. I'm like, oh my God, he misunderstood me. I think he thinks I didn't like the salad. We just said we didn't want it packed. And I'm going through all this, and he looks at us, and he's like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you ask for me? And we were like, well, we didn't even think to ask for you. And so I squealed on your pastor. I was like, he didn't even want to come here. I was like, he didn't want to come to my shows. He wanted those sweet greens. So guys looking at me. So through all this, I looked at him and I said, I really do apologize. That wasn't my intent. We weren't complaining. The salad was not bad. I was just simply saying, you don't need to pack the salad. And the man thought that I meant the salad was bad, and that's why he went to get you. And so after all this, he walked away from our table and he said, give me a second. And I looked at my husband and I said, oh my God, I feel so bad. You know, here's our neighbor thinking we're trying to get over. The neighbor comes back and he said, I took care of the bill. And through that, I said, thank you. But as he left and I looked at my husband, I said, isn't it amazing that what I thought was a mistake, what I thought I had done, an error, God used to bring our neighbor out, to produce favor over our life, which engaged us in a really great conversation with our neighbor who we hadn't seen in a while. And I said, you know, it's just like life. So often we go through certain things and we think, oh, that was a mistake. But how God can use even the mistake that we think we made for his glory.
And when you understand that you are not a mistake, you get up every morning, even when you are single, moving towards your place of inheritance. You understand that God has put something in you, because understand this, the Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. People can't produce fruit, trees do. I said people can't produce fruit, trees do. But he says, watch this, what did he say in Psalms? He said that we shall be planted like a tree by the rivers of water. If people can't produce fruit, but trees can, we're just like trees. God makes us and gives us a seed just like trees to produce. When we understand that we have been created in God's image. Now mind you, when I met First Lady, I had no idea that she was my wife. But as she told a little bit of the story, she had an idea. And I remember when I first got involved with her, I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I just said to myself, I don't want to get in another relationship. But I met her by mistake. Are you listening to me? And I started on a journey with her, not knowing that one day, watch this, that she would become the first lady. I would be a pastor. She would be the first lady. Now, she was on her way to California to be a news anchor. She wasn't on her way. She was just stopping through the radio station to get some experience. But she was going to be a news anchor in L.A. But God did not have that for her. Neither did he have it for me, because I was on my way to Manhattan, New York. And I meet her, and look what God does, because in both of us was a seed. So what am I saying? There are some of you who your families are together now, and it doesn't mean because there are some tumultuous moments that God didn't create it. It doesn't mean that because you met by happenstance that God will not by default do something great for you. You got to get up every morning on your mind that I'm not a mistake, and since I'm not a mistake, we're not a mistake. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Now there are some God-ordained families in here. There's some God-ordained seeds in here. Say with me, I'm a perfect manifestation of God's imagination. Because that's all that image is. Every single person, say with me, I'm a perfect manifestation of God's imagination. How do I know that? Because the Bible says this in Psalms. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. And if you are fearfully and wonderfully made, you are nothing more than a perfect manifestation of God's imagination. That's what image is. Image is God's imagination. God did not create you because he had to. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me say that again. God was in the beginning before the beginning began, and he was satisfied with himself. But he created you because he wanted to and not had to. Say with me, God created me to create the family because he wanted to. So every time you start tripping, I want you to remember this. I want you to remember this one thing. You are everything God wanted to be in a body. Say with me, I'm everything that God wanted to be in a body. So I can't be a mistake. And everything in me is a seed to produce fruit, because I'm like a tree planted by the rivers of water. So when God said, let us make humanity in our image, God says, let me make